this is the summary for the day of 577 to 579 for the 23rd to 25th of September. So just to do some conclusions, lightning strike twice over at the Kryvyi air base, where yet another missile strike or drone strike destroyed another MiG-29 that was landing. That was actually parking in one of these parking lots. So that's actually quite disturbing, I think, for the Ukrainians to not hit the first warning, and then the Russian forces continue to have a drone flying around here, circling this place, and then launch a missile strike and hit another plane. So this shows some severe problem for the Ukrainians in terms of surface-to-air missile system. They're really lacking surface-to-air missile system to deal with all these missile strike, drone strikes, or drone surveillance, or just Russian aircraft. And this also is reflected over at the airstrike or missile strike on the Mykolaiv air base. So this air base is also known by another name. Tentatively, I cannot remember. It's known by another name, but anyway, it's the Mykolaiv air base. And there's by Rybar, they reported there was two missiles hitting the airport. Kubakino or Kubakine airport. And all these strikes and drone strikes, missile strikes, or air strikes are just signs that the Ukrainians' surface-to-air missile umbrellas are all disappearing, and this is actually very bad. So which is also why it's reflected by Zelensky, saying that they want more surface-to-air missile. That is a priority for the Ukrainian side. If they know the military aid that they want the most is actually this surface-to-air missile systems. And over at the Orikhiv sector, this is Orikhiv in the Zaporizhia front. This is the Orikhiv sector, and the Ukrainian forces continue their attack against Verbove and Novoprokopivka, as well as on the flanks. And the significance is the breakthrough over on the northeastern or northern outskirts of Novoprokopivka, with the Ukrainians managed to touch the settlement. They have not actually captured any buildings just yet, but the fact that we have a confirmation through video footage that they have managed to come to so close, able to send troops into these first buildings, that shows that the Ukrainians are continuing to make progress. And however, the Russians also shown in video on geolocations that the Russians are continuing to counterattack towards Robotine. So the situation have not changed in this place. The situation, however, changed over on the Verbove region, with the Ukrainian forces managed to be geolocated over here, which means that they have more or less captured this final tree line, which then they can actually launch assault into the village. And geolocation of armored vehicle getting destroyed on this road here. It's a Ukrainian armored vehicle, but it was destroyed by probably a mine or anti-tank missile. That shows that the Ukrainian forces have already reached more or less the outskirts, and they are ready to attack into Verbove itself. The Russian forces definitely is now holding their positions within the village right now. I'm not sure if they will do a counter-attack to recapture this tree line again. So we shall continue to monitor if this is the case, where the Ukrainians are able to enter Verbove. Once they can fight into Verbove, I think that will make a lot of difference, rather than staying out in the open and then get hit by all sort of artillery and airstrikes. So there is some progress for the Ukrainians over the past 3 days, but it's not very big. It's a little bit, but better than nothing. Otherwise, we don't have a lot more that is very significant, I would say. In terms of the fighting, I would say Marinka is there is some important detail. Is the geolocation of Ukrainian forces in the northern part of Crimea that shows that the Ukrainian forces do have a pretty decent holding positions in the northern part, northwestern part of the Marinka region. The Ukrainian forces continue to defy belief. They are able to continue to hold this final portion of Marinka. After this long, I'm very, very impressed. Russian forces recaptured this mine, and they call it a mine. And but there's no Moria. And the Russian forces managed to recapture this position with geolocation of other Ukrainian Russian forces over there. They are continuing to hold positions just off Krasnohorivka. And otherwise, Crimea, Avdiivka front, nothing much to talk about. South Bakhmut is there's fighting at Kodyomivka, at Ozeryanivka, at NGFka. That nothing actually is working out. Everything is stuck. The Russians continue to counterattack at Klishchievka, also stuck. There's no change in terms of the front line. Ukraine is also trying to attack into the eastern part of Klishchievka, also stuck. Nothing really much to shout about. Otherwise, Ukrainians continue to attack in the forest. The big breakthrough is the Russian Defense Ministry reported on the 25th of September, saying that the Ukrainian forces actually broke through, actually attacked. They were fighting in the northern part of Dibrova. So fighting in the northern part of Dibrova is weird because the front line is actually here. So for them to be fighting in the northern part means that the Ukrainians actually have a breakthrough, and the Russian forces have to actually push them back and repel this attack. I'm not sure if the Ukrainians managed to hold a position in the northern part of Dibrova now. So let's continue to monitor and see if the fighting continues to be reported in the northern part of Dibrova. If it is, then Ukrainians actually made a breakthrough, and actually that would be quite significant, because if the Ukrainians able to hold a position in the northern part of Dibrova, they can actually cut this road, and they can actually push out from this area here, and go towards Kuzmine from the south, from the rear, and they can actually just avoid fighting in the Serebryansky forestry entirely. So let's see how this goes. Otherwise, there's nothing much to talk about. Oh yeah, there's this Novoselivsky. So in the Novoselivsky, geolocation over here, and geolocation over here means that the Ukrainian forces continue to make tremendous progress at Novoselivsky in this counter-offensive, and the Russian forces continue to be pushed back into Kuzemivka. So I think not long we shall see the Ukrainians recapture the entire town of Novoselivsky. So the Russian forces continue to suffer from missile strikes by the Ukrainians, and it looks like despite all the air defense system that the Russians have, it's still not enough to prevent hits onto certain targets that the Ukrainians have been trying to hit. And the Ukrainians also continue to use the oil rigs that is just west of Crimea, and are able to continue to launch amphibious assault. And the assault is getting more and more daring, and they actually get into the firefight, but they did not land. So that is a very interesting thing that is happening, and the Russia reacted by bombing the Snake Island with the fat bombs, the 500 kg bombs. So this attrition on the Black Sea will definitely continue, with the Ukrainians already pretty much deny the Russians this entire part of the Black Sea. So no Russian vessels will dare to enter this area here, lest they want to be destroyed by anti-ship missiles. So the Ukrainians, that's why, have this free reign to land along this area here. And then the Russian Navy pretty much can only sail on the outside. Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that the Russians still have air superiority in the region. That's it for the most important things that happened over the past 3 days in Ukraine. Do press the like button, subscribe. If you want to watch the full SITREP, do join the YouTube membership or be part of Patreon, Coffee, or all the description in the links below in the description. Yeah, so that's about it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.